to a Holy Peak RTKS Reveals event for April 25th, 2026. Today we have 5 things to talk about. As always, let's talk about the improvements. Now, like a week after a previous event, I kind of felt that the quality checks we had weren't enough. So I came up with a pretty good approach for layer quality checks. And we're kind of like a feedback loop. Basically, I send my workers a snippet of a layer and then we vote on if it's good or bad. Then I keep improving the thing until at least 70% of them say that it's good. You might have noticed that our videos look pretty different lately. That's because I switched to DaVinci Resolve for editing. By the way, side note, my face in Roblox kind of looks pretty creepy right now with the dynamic head. Clipchamp released a bad update where they now force you to use OneDrive in order for you to access your projects. And they released the update in the middle of me making a video. So what I was gonna do was that I will use Photos Legacy again. But after doing layer quality checks on the thumbnail of the video, I kind of wanted the video to be as good as the thumbnail was. So I decided to get DaVinci Resolve. To be honest, it's so much better. It actually has keyframes which both Photos Legacy and Clipchamp didn't have for some reason. That allows me to make some pretty good animated captions for my videos. I've changed up the architecture for the RTKS work system a bit. Now we added loops. We're basically a set of tasks you do and repeat. That way you almost always know what to work on next. For example, you make a video idea, record it, edit it, make the thumbnail, and then publish and repeat. Also, our series on the channel are kind of mid because we're not really like a real series. Real series are weekly or daily, but our series, we just make episodes whenever we wanna. So I'm gonna try to change that. Now I'm gonna try to make actual weekly or daily series on our channel. But here's the thing, I used to get hundreds of views and thousands of impressions back in 2022 and 2023. Now I only get a few hundred impressions. So I used YouTube Studio's new feature called Ask Studio to figure out why. Turns out, I was making more broad and searchable content in the past. So I'm gonna try to do more of that, I guess. Also, we're probably gonna experiment with some other topics on our channel, like talking about the newest Roblox updates, or maybe even bring back the group chat meme videos. Now let's talk about our second topic, which is streaming on Twitch. Yo, that rhymes! Let's go! My workers have been telling me to stream on Twitch for kind of a long time now. So I finally decided to get Twitch. We also brought up some child safety concerns about RTKS Connect, so I decided to close it. Now here's the thing, RTKS TV was kind of just normal streams. Only difference is that it had a different name and maybe a few extra stuff. So that kind of made RTKS TV pointless. That's why we're stopping it. That's basically all I wanted to say for this topic. For our third topic, let's talk about the Open World PvP update. We released a huge update for Open World PvP. We improved the movement, as you can see right here. We also improved the weapons. We have some view models. And we also added some new movement like wall running and double jumping. And we also added utilities. But was all that work just for nothing? Let me explain. Roblox announced an update where in order to publish a game to an audience of all ages, you will have to get an age check, be ID verified, and have a Roblox Plus subscription. I originally misread that the update will be taking place in April 19th. So I released the update early because if I didn't, then maybe it will have been too late. Turns out it actually takes effect on May 19th. But I decided to keep the update, even though I released it early. We were also supposed to add game modes, but now that Roblox has announced this insane update, not even sure if it's worth it to do that anymore. So what did I decide to do? We're officially moving to Politoria. Well, to be honest, I'll probably stay on both platforms. I've also tried doing the age check on Roblox, and guess what? It found I was 2 years younger than I actually was, and it put me an age group below. And I noticed a huge opportunity in Politoria. Most of the games kind of feel like old Roblox, so if we manage to make a well-ordained game, then it could stand out and gather lots of players. Well, I'm not sure if people want to play a modern day game in Politoria actually. Maybe they do though. Now our goal for 2026 is 1,000 subscribers and 50 concurrent players. I think that Politoria might make it a bit easier for us to reach that goal, because the games on the front page are actually pretty simple and probably don't take that much time to make. Those same games will probably get like only a few players on Roblox. The thing is that the games on the front page usually have like 20 players, which will make it a bit hard for us to get 50 players, but that still means that it is really easy to get on the front page in Politoria. Open World PvP is now on Politoria, completely remade from scratch. Link is in the description. Now let's go back to the recording place and talk about our fourth thing, Real Vikings AI. The Futuristic Era 2.0 represents an era of Real Vikings with blueprints, layer theory, and the fact that stuff is rapidly improving here. But it also represents the fact that we now have the tools and knowledge to make futuristic stuff like Real Vikings Studio and Real Vikings AI. Yep, you heard that right. We're officially announcing Real Vikings AI to the public. We started making Real Vikings AI back in 2024, but it wasn't that good. It had pre-made responses and stuff like that. But in October of 2025, we made a model which you could train on some Roblox games. It will put the models inside of a folder, and you can then ask it to insert them with a few extra settings like the color of the model and where to put it. But a month ago, in March of 2026, I decided to try making a model that could actually make its own responses. It will be trained on some text files, and then it will predict the next word using that data. And I actually made it work, but it didn't really understand what you wanted, and either just repeated what you said or just straight up repeated a line of text from the dataset. Sometimes it could actually make some pretty interesting responses though. Turns out what I had made was called markup chain, because it tried to predict the next word with only the context of the last one, making it memoryless. I began adding new features like giving it context of the last two words and making certain words in the prompt boost other words in the response. For example, the word you will boost the word I. So if you said who are you, then it might say something like I am someone. But to be honest, Real Vikings AI will have much more potential if it was coded in Python. So that's what I did. And XTG had also made a dataset of me which had pairs of the user's prompts and the assistant's responses. So I added some features that could actually make the bot work better with prompt and response pairs, and its responses were already much better. To improve the responses even more, I started storing the frequency of words in the dataset. Then I also added words that boost other words and words that nerf other words. And the best part, I made it automatically decide which words in the prompt should boost other words in the response, and the same for nerfing. Now, I didn't really want this topic to be just yapping and just me talking, so let me just do a quick demo of how Real Vikings AI actually works. Let's go ahead and open Real Vikings Studio, which is my program that I made. It's gonna take a few seconds to load. Hopefully it should open any second now. Yep. Now, okay, I've made a quick demo server so I can demonstrate Real Vikings AI. Now we're gonna train the bot. We're gonna have to select a training file, and I'll select this text file. It's the dataset that XTG made. So now let's open it. Anyway, okay, now we press start bot. Now, as you can see, it's run online, and let's say hi. So as you can see, it says hi. Well, that's normal actually. Not that impressive. Let's ask it some other questions, or maybe not a question. Let's do an action. Tell me a joke. Okay. I don't know if you'll find it funny, but it's actually a joke that I made like a few months ago. So yeah. We can ask some other questions like, who is Clyde? Okay, Clyde is my worker at Real Vikings. Yes, that's correct. He actually recently became a CEO, which is not correct actually. I'll have to fix that later. Anyway, okay, so that's Real Vikings AI. I can make it do a variety of other stuff, but that's just the basics of what it can do. I'm constantly improving it, so yeah. The thing is that before I added nerfing, it actually said that Clyde is a goofy worker, which he's not. When I added nerfing, now it doesn't say that anymore. But now it's saying that he's the CEO, which he's not. If I make it like nerf 2 times, then maybe it'll stop saying that and actually say the correct thing. And this is the big one. Let's talk about the 5th and final thing, our Discord server. We're releasing our Discord server to the public. It was internal for like 2 years now, but it's about time that I take this to my advantage and make Real the Kings more fun by launching it to the public. Here's the thing though, people might start sending bad messages in the chat or maybe even raiding the server. So what did I do? I gave Real the Kings AI the power to moderate the server. Don't worry, we're not replacing human moderators yet. I will take both human and AI moderators to our advantage. Once it sees an inappropriate message, we'll delete it and forward it to the moderators so that they get to decide the punishment. We might be also adding reports where you can react to a message with a report emoji, and when it reaches enough reports, then the moderators will also be notified. Keep in mind that this system might change over time. And also, we're gonna be hosting some game nights there too. So don't miss out, join the server, the link is in the description. And the first 5 people to join are gonna get a special role. Anyway, so I think that's it for this video. Make sure to join the Real the Kings community if you wanna. You can do that by subscribing to his channel. And bye, I guess.